Hey, what's up? Today's video is going to be an absolute long one. Um, I thought about making a video like this for a while, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. But I think I'm going to try and just lock in and do it. We're going to rank every single champion in the game. Every single one. I started a series a couple weeks ago. It was ranking the best champions. I just concluded ranking the worst champions. And I think it's time that we go ahead and rank every single champion in the game. But before that, I want to give you guys a huge shout out and thanks because we hit 500 subs just now at the time of recording this video. That was obviously my goal. So what that means is you guys are picking my next rank 5 for sure, set in stone. You guys are picking it. But if you want your champion to be entered, please go to the video in the description. Leave a like on the comment you want, or pick the champion that you would like to be entered into that selection. And that'll be the champion that I rank 5 next. But just a huge shout out to you guys. Thank you all so much for 500 subs. It means so much to me. I couldn't be happier. I mean, it's been such a fun time just making videos for you guys. But yes, here we go. Enough said. I want to keep it short and sweet because we have 300 champs to rank. That being said, there are a few champions that are on this list, like the Venomnoids or the Venomoids and the Sentinel bots or whatever. I don't believe they're on this list, but I believe every champion that is like a 5 or 6 star or whatever of that level is on this list. So let's go ahead. Let's lock in. I will say I'm going to try to keep every champion short to a minimum. So if you guys don't like that, I'm very sorry. But there's 300 champs on this list. And if I spend 5 minutes on every single champion, we'll be here forever. So yeah, let's go ahead and start off with Abomination Immortal. Abomination Immortal, very good. I would put him probably in the, I would put him at bottom awesome tier. He's a very good champion. Made by Brian Grant. What more can you want? He is a 7-star. Now we go to regular Abomination. He's bad. The only thing he's got for him is he has really potent poisons that he applies on you on defense, but any poison immune character absolutely nukes him down. Absman, going into God tier. Absman's the GOAT. My personal favorite Mystic in the game. I think the best Mystic in the game, so obviously deserves that God tier. Adam Warlock, with the Ascension, with all the damage he can output, I believe Adam Warlock is a meta tier champion. Great damage, has great utility on attack, great defense, and has an Ascension. Aegon. Aegon is now probably at the average tier. Since he's not a 7-star, once he becomes a 7-star and can go to that highest level, he will go up more. But he's a 6-star locked, and there's a lot of content in the game where you don't need Aegon. There's a lot of champions that can do content that Aegon can do just as good. But Aegon, one of the greatest ever content champs out there. Airwalker, bad champion. Not much going for him. He needs a buff. America Chavez. She'll go at the top of awesome tier. Actually, I'll put her. We'll go top. We'll go meta tier. She has an Ascension on the way, and that's just going to rise her stocks even more. Great champion. You all know what America Chavez is. Great defender. Really great on attack. Just a great mystic. Angela, we will go an awesome tier. We'll actually put her ahead of Eyebomb. Angela, great utility. One of the most utility-filled cosmics in the game. She can counter so many nodes just with her availability to regen and to take basically no damage from debuffs. Yeah, Angela is great. One of the best incursion champions too. Annihilist, we'll put him in the average tier. He is really bad, but he's so annoying on defense that he has some type of stocks, but he's not very good on attack. He's a 6-star lock. Yeah, not very good. Ant-Man, going in the God tier. Not quite as good as Absman, but still a very solid champion. The best tech, in my opinion, so he belongs in that God tier. Great on attack, great on defense, has good utility, all that stuff. Normal Ant-Man. That was Ant-Man Future. This is normal Ant-Man. We will put you down in average at best. I would probably put him a little bit lower. He's a 7-star, so he's got to go ahead of them probably, but honestly, I wouldn't put him ahead of Aegon, really. He's just a boring character. Doesn't have much with his kit. I mean, it's Ant-Man. Anti-Venom. Anti-Venom is pretty cool. I'll put him at the bottom of awesome tier now. His buff really, really helped him out a lot. Yeah, Anti-Venom, very, very solid character. Good on attack, not very good on defense. Has some good utility, but APOC. APOC, we'll put at the top of awesome tier. APOC has fallen off, but he is still a great mutant champion. Has really great defense, or really great attack, really great power on attack. Really great on defense too because he's a stall defender, but he also has the best synergies in the game with the mutant class. Any mutant can become a horseman, and he just buffs them that much more. But yeah, Arcade, I'm gonna put probably bottom of average. He's just great on defense. But yeah, that's all he is. He's a defender, and I hate him. Archangel. Archangel is going to be the first 6-star that goes in the awesome tier, just because Archangel is that good. When Dark Phoenix first launched, he was one of the best counters for Dark Phoenix. Fun fact. He's just that good, and I can't wait for him to become a 7-star. Heart of Fire event this year. Zola. Zola, we will put you ahead of all these champions. You'll go at the top of awesome tier. Zola is meta right now. I don't find Zola that great on attack anymore. But he is a really, really great defender, so you can't go wrong with Zola. Great synergies, good immunities, really, really great defender. That being said, Atuma. Atuma we will put down in average, just ahead of Arcade, just kind of the same reason. He's really just meant to be a defender. He has more attacker prowess than Arcade, in my opinion, but he's really just meant to be a defender. There's a lot of mutants that counter Atuma just fine. Baron Zemo, he's going up in the God tier. One of my personal favorite characters in the game now. Definitely my next most wanted R5. I would love to take him up to R5 as soon as humanly possible. I believe he is the best skill character in the game. I absolutely love Zemo. Bastion. Bastion is going up top of meta tier. One of the best tech characters in the game. One of the best characters in the game when it comes to utility. He can do so many different fights. I'm personally not a Bastion player. I've not played Bastion a lot, but I do realize that Bastion is a really good champion. Beast. Beast is going down here terrible. He's got nothing in his kit. That's all. Beta Ray Bill. We'll probably put him at average. I'll put him ahead of everybody else because he has a lot of attack, and he's not bad on defense just because his specials are really weird to evade. But once you figure that out, he does become kind of just a punching bag. But he has some of the best damage on attack and some of the best long form damage. When he first launched, he was like one of my favorite characters. He kind of fell off for me, but Beta Ray Bill, pretty solid. Bishop, we'll put him just behind Beta Ray Bill. Bishop's good. Solid defense. Really great on attack. Has really great damage. And is ascendable now. He just... kind of boring to play. Black Bolt, terrible. Black Cat, we will actually go back to average. Black Cat does a lot in the game, but there's a lot of characters that can do what Black Cat does better, and she's kind of exclusive to the Loyalty Crystal. And if you have luck like me, you'll pull a Max Sig Howard the Duck before you pull any Black Cats, basically. Fun fact, I've put, I think, 40 Sigs into Howard the Duck. I think that's what it is. I think I put 40 Sigs of my own into Howard the Duck, and the rest of it was just me pulling Howard the Duck that much. Black Panther Civil War, really, really great. I'm putting him up here in meta. He is a very, very great attacker. One of the best attackers right now. Has Ascension, solid on defense, very great character. Black Panther, we're going to put him down here in like average. He's alright on attack, not good on defense, doesn't really have any utility, so whatever. Clairvoyant, now this one's a little weird. I'm going to put her at the top. I'm actually going to put her at the bottom of awesome, just because she has a lot of utility, and she's really, really great. I do find, though, her damage as a 7-star feels like it is not right. I feel like she has really low damage as a 7-star, but as a 6-star, she has pretty high damage, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I feel like her 7-star does not, or her damage does not scale well with 7 stars, but she is a solid defense, or not a great defender, but she can do some stuff on defense. Great attacker, great utility. Black Panther, Deodorant, average, kind of like Black Panther, just has attack. Actually, she's a little bit better than Black Panther because she has a little bit of defense, but Black Widow. Oh wait, I said Black Widow, right? Yeah, Black Widow. We'll put her here. She's bad. She just has ability accuracy reduction. Falcon. What about the bottom of average? Kind of the same thing. Ability accuracy reduction. Or this is Blade. Sorry, I saw Falcon right here and I thought this was Falcon. I'm sorry. Blade. Still probably the same spot, I'm not going to lie. We'll put him a little bit higher just because it's Blade. But like Blade's kid, he's such an OG god tier champion. But in today's meta, he's just not that great. Blue Marvel, we'll put him up here with average. He's a very, very great long form character. I've never fought him on defense, so I don't know how he is, but he's a very great long form character. It's just there's a lot of characters in the game that do what he does just way better. Bullseye, I'm gonna put him at the awesome tier. I'm gonna put him right about. We'll put him here. Yeah, Bullseye's awesome. He's just fallen off. Him on attack is not anything special. It is pretty solid, but he's nothing special. And he's one of the best defenders in the game, of course. And he can't miss. And he always crits. Great utility. Cable. Cable is bad. He's getting a rework, though, so hopefully he is good. Captain America, terrible. Captain America Infinity War. We'll put him down here, around here in average. Also, guys, just know, there should be 300 champs on this list. If you personally believe he's better than Bishop or whoever, this is just a rough area where I'm putting him. Don't take all these rankings with a grain of salt. Like, don't actually think Black Cat is way, way better than Bishop just because he's 2 spots ahead. As long as they're... I just mean they're in this tier. So, if I put him in the average tier, he's on the same level as these other characters, not all these other characters. So, just take that with a grain of salt. But anyways, Captain America, he's alright. He has solid damage. He's solid on defense just because he glances. He was an OG good character, I guess, but whatever. Captain America Shane Wilson, once again, like an average character, just because of the Ascension. That's about all. We'll put him up right here. Still, Captain America, still bad. Captain Britain, actually, I'm going to put her up here in meta tier. Really, really great on attack, actually. Really, really, really great on defense. She's a very, very great character. I love Captain Britain. Actually, I probably shouldn't put her that high. We'll put her right there. Love Captain Britain. Captain Marvel movie. Once again, just another average character. You'll find there's a lot of average characters in this game. Nothing special about them. Yeah. Captain Marvel, basic, terrible. Carnage, we're actually going to put down here an average. Carnage, before Coliseum came out, he would probably be in the bad tier, but his damage is just so great. He belongs to that average tier. That damage with the Coliseum bosses is absolutely nuts. Cassandra Nova, we'll put her up here in average. Once again, just meh. Great on attack, some solid defensive prowess, but I never see her in the game anywhere. She could probably go top of average, maybe even bottom of awesome. I just don't ever see a use for her. Chilth, once again, I would probably put Chilth in an awesome tier. I've never been a big Chilth player, but she is very, very solid at what she does. Great on defense, great on attack, very, very good bleeds. Yeah. Civil Warrior, we'll put you down here in bad. Civil Warrior, you're just bad. You're just terrible. Well, you're not quite terrible, but you're bad. That being said, we'll move on to Colossus. Average. Heavy into damage. You do some damage, but that's about all. He's a tank. At least he's like one of the biggest tanks in the game, but that being said, that only gets you so far. I don't know why Corvus Glaive. I don't know why I was blanking on his name. Corvus Glaive, one of the best questing champions in the earlier days. We'll put him up here. He's very great on attack with the questing stuff and all that. Not that great on defense. Not much utility, just very solid crits and whatnot. What are you gonna do? Cosmic Ghost Rider. We're putting you in the God tier. I don't care if you're 6-star locked. Cosmic Ghost Rider has some of the best damage in the game still to this current day, and he's a 6-star locked. Great champion. Great on attack. Not that great on defense. Could still probably do some stuff on defense. Great utility. Great on attack. One of the best attackers in the game. He belongs in the God tier. Count Nefaria. Also, once again, another champion I believe belongs in the God tier. I absolutely love Count Nefaria. Then again, yeah, Count Nefaria goes up there. He has so much utility in this kit. Actually, really, really great attack or really, really great damage. And he's pretty solid on defense, actually. I was pretty surprised the more I fought him, the kind of difficult he can get. Crossbones, top of meta tier. He is such a good character. He is such a good character. I'm a Crossbones defender, so some of you might absolutely hate that. I'm a Crossbones defender. He does so much on attack without you even realizing what that ability actually reduction he can get. You pair that with the Black Widow Relic, it's just nuts. And his attack is some of the highest in the game. I was watching videos with him, 99 Fury, rank 4. He was doing 234k, 234,000 heavy attacks. Crossbones belongs there. Cole Obsidian, God tier. He's like Cosmic Ghost Rider, just weakened, but he's a 7-star, so he's buffed, if that makes sense. He's great. Absolutely, just damage. Just straight damage. Cyclops, we're going to put you in average. He is also just straight damage, but his damage is harder to access, and you can't scale it up every single map, or every single fight you can't ramp up, and he's not that great on defense. This Cyclops, terrible. Danny Moonstar, we'll actually put you in the awesome tier. I've seen a lot of awesome gameplay. That might be a little bit of a hot take over some of these other champions, but with her ascendable, like her being able to be ascended, I've seen a lot of awesome gameplay of Danny Moonstar, so I'm pretty surprised about that. Daredevil, pains me to say this, but he's terrible. Actually, we'll put him at bottom of bad because my list, and I like Daredevil, so he gets a little bit of a buff. Daredevil Hell's Kitchen, you're also going to go bad. Unfortunately, I love Daredevil, one of my favorite Marvel character ever, probably, and I just can't put him any higher. Darkhawk, you're going to bad. Also, Annihilus, I don't know why I put you up there. You're bad. They're both defenders, but they're still bad. You're never using them in today's current game. Dark Phoenix, God tier, absolutely insane champion. Literally, they didn't tune her or anything. They just put her in the game, and they're like, yep, have insane damage, have insane defense, and nobody's immune to Nova Flame but like 4 characters in the game. Woo! And make her $1,000. Dazzler, once again, I think is a very solid character. I like Dazzler. I'm very keen on Dazzler. Really, really good on attack, solid utility. Alright on defense, actually. If she launches an SP2, you're dead. Deadpool, terrible. Deadpool X-Force, awesome. What more can I say? Diablo, average, meh. Doctor Doom. Now, this is another God tier champion. Even though he is a 6-star lock, if you pull a Doom, you can use him in any story content in the game. And story is what you want to do if you are a new player. Doctor Doom, the GOAT. The best champion in the game, in my opinion. The best champion in the game, in my opinion. Absolutely the best. But he's not a 7-star, so he really isn't the best. But if he was a 7-star, he's my GOAT. Yeah. Anyways, Doc Ock, bad. You'll find that a lot of 6-star locked champions nowadays are probably going to be the bad spot just because they are 6-star locked, so they don't really have that availability to do much in today's current meta. Maybe I shouldn't be ranking them on that. I should just be ranking them on their actual, like, because he would probably be up here with some of these kits, but he's just a 6-star locked, so, like, what are you going to do? Doctor Strange, I'm going to put up here in meta tier. Doctor Strange is great. Doctor Strange is really, really, really great. One of the best mystics, just because he has so much utility in this kit. His attack might not be the highest in the world. He might not have that great of a defense. But his attack, or his utility is so high, it's fine. He belongs there. Dr. Voodoo, we'll put him in the awesome tier. I really actually like Dr. Voodoo's buff. I really, really do. I find it really, really fun to play. People kind of forgot about him. And he's always been a good character in the game. His buff just made it even better. Domino, also, awesome tier. She has fallen off because a lot of tech defenders nuke Domino, but she still is a very solid character with that ability action reduction and her damage. Dormammu, he is terrible just because he could be a great champion just because it's Dormammu and he's so bad, so he's terrible. He might actually be on the bad list. He's on the bad list, but yeah. Dracula. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Oh. Sorry. We had to. Oh. Don't worry. Dracula? Boink. Boom. Alright. Dragon Man. Dragon Man, honestly, even as a 7-star, is pretty bad. I don't find Dragon Man good at all. Drax, terrible. Dust, average. We'll put her in awesome. She has really great defense, and she's actually very underrated on attack and great utility. Dust is actually a very underrated character in the game. Ebony Maw, he's average. He's barely close to being. He's really close to being bad. Electro, I would actually put in average too, just because there are certain BG's metas where he was good for the longest time, just because of his defensive power. Just you can't not take damage against Electro, which sucks. Electra, bad. Elsa Bloodstone, average. Emma Frost. Actually, I would put her up high average. She's actually very solid. I actually want to talk about Emma Frost. Emma Frost has great attack, very solid on defense just because she's a tank and she has a lot of weird stuff in her kit. Um, and some solid utility. Emma Frost is actually a champ I would stop and talk about. Chantress. Average. She's one of the better defenders in the game, but there's a lot of attackers that absolutely nuke Enchantress nowadays, so she's not that good, and she's like one of the worst attackers in the game. Literally one of the worst attackers in the game. If this was just attack, she would be down here terrible. Falcon, still average. Before his buff, he was literally a terrible or bad champion. I did not find anything fun about him. His buff made him a little bit better. He's still average. Another Falcon, average. Frankencastle, as much as it pains me to put him here, average. I love Frankencastle. I love Frank Castle. I love the Punisher. He's just not that good. His kit just does not work. Anyways, Gallon. We're putting him up here in the awesome tier. Gallon is really, really great. But he's kind of fallen off, I guess. He's kind of fallen off. He still is a very solid character, but he's not as good as he once was. And there's just a lot of characters in the game that do that nuke damage and that big bursty damage. But yeah. Gambit. Bad, even though he's a 7-star. I love Gambit personally. I can't put him any higher. Gamora, average, even though she does have really, really high attack, and she's kind of good for Coliseum. Gentle, we're putting up here the awesome tier. Gentle has shocked me how good he actually is, and he's just going to keep going with the Ascension. All right, Ghost. Ghost, we're actually going to put in the awesome tier too. Even though she's only a 6-star, I kind of the same way as Archangel. She's just so great at what she does. Even as a 6-star, she still can do things in today's current day. She's not as good as Archangel or Doom or CGR, but she is still really, really great. Ghost Rider. Now, the buff looks cool, but current day Ghost Rider is bad. The buff, he looks like he can be a above average or maybe an awesome character, but the buff hasn't came out yet, so we're not ranking that. Gladiator. I would say an awesome character. I really like Gladiator. Very, very solid on attack. Not that great on defense. Can be a little bit of a stall, but very solid on attack. Goldpool, bad. Gore has actually shocked me. I always thought Gore was a bad character just because on defense he is so easy to nuke with any Mystic, which that is still the case. But him on attack nowadays with the skip SP3 and all that, he's a very solid character. And Ascension, Gore's really, really great. Green Goblin, terrible. Actually, we'll put him in bad. He's a little bit better than them, but still bad. Groot, terrible. We don't like Groot. Guardian. I would actually put Guardian in the awesome tier just because he is really, really great on attack, really great on defense, and one of the best Coliseum attackers on certain nodes. He is one of the greatest Coliseum attackers. You literally are guaranteed 20 plus health bars as long as you can play the fight somewhat well for the first 5-10 minutes. Guillotine, 2099. She's bad, an average. She's alright, a great long-form content champion, but there's a lot of champions in the game that do long-form content, so, Guillotine Deathless, for different reasons, she's average, but she's kind of just, and then this Guillotine's bad, but Deathless Guillotine is a little bit better than normal Guillotine, and she's a 7-star, but, Gwenpool, I would say she's personally bad. I don't really like her that much. Havoc, average. Hawkeye, I would say bad. Heimdall. Heimdall is a meta tier character. Heimdall is amazing. Some of the best ramp up damage. Really, really, really great on defense. Has some good utilities. Has the best synergy in the game by far. He's just a great champion. And they did not tune his buff properly because it is boom. He went from here to here. But yeah. Hela. Even though she has some of the highest damage in the game, she's bad. Hercules. I'm going to put him in meta tier. I don't think he's quite god tier anymore. Because I don't think you can use him in today's modern game as well as you can use other champions. Just because his kit's so weird and there's so many nodes that counter his kit nowadays and kind of keep you from going and doing that type of playstyle. But Hercules is still a very solid champion. If you get him early on, you are going to go far in the game. Alright. We're probably close to halfway through. Actually, we're not close to halfway through at all, but it's fine. High Evolutionary. Average, just because he's not awesome. I can't say he's awesome. He's just a defender, and I don't really like him at all. Hitmonkey. Hitmonkey's meta because he's my GOAT. I don't care. You guys can hate on Hitmonkey as much as you want. Some of the best crits in the game, some solid utility, some of the best damage in the game, and not that bad on defense. He's actually a sneaky defender, and he's ascendable. Zip it. I know you are thinking right now, why is Hitmonkey here? He could be here if I wanted. So, you be good. Anyways, Howard the Duck. Same thing with Howard the Duck. Where'd Howard the Duck go? Howard the Duck. Meta. Don't care what you have to say. Howard the Duck's lit. Very great on attack. A tank on defense, actually, as long as you don't have a Mystic that counters all spells and all that. And it has some solid utility. And he's ascendable. I don't care. Howard the Duck's great. Hulk. Hulk goes in the awesome tier. Very solid damage. Good immunities. Good on defense because he's a tank and he does a lot of damage and he goes unstoppable. What's not to like about Hulk? Hulk Buster. Put him in the awesome tier. He has some pretty cool abilities with the heavy chain into his special 2 and the heavy chain and all that. It's very, very solid, but it's kind of an outdated kit. Immortal Hulk. I used to love Immortal Hulk, but I don't like the fact anymore that you kill yourself in the fight. Besides this current BG's meta, he's never been good for BG's. Questing, you could really only use him for one fight, in my opinion, or a couple fights, and he's just not that good anymore. But yeah, Hulkling, God tier champion. What more to say? My first R5. There's just so much about him. I have gameplay showcases on my channel about Hulkling. Everybody does. Hulkling's just amazing. One of the best costumes in the game. We all love Hulkling. Gladiator Hulk. I would say he's a bad character in today's current meta. He's very outdated. He needs a little bit of buff. He needs a little bit of a buff, and he needs to be a 7-star. Human Torch. We're putting you in the high meta tier. Very solid on attack. Decent defensive prowess. Good immunities. Good utility. Yeah. What's not to like about Human Torch? One of the best science 7 stars. All right. Hyperion. Sorry. Hyperion. Today's meta, probably average. He's alright. Very, very good attack, I guess. He's just very RNG dependent. And a lot of champions like that I don't find to be that good just because RNG can really ruin a fight. Anyways, Iceman. Another champion that's kind of RNG dependent on your damage. Not quite as good on attack and doesn't need as much RNG as Hyperion, but he's very much a defender too. He has very solid defensive prowess with that cold snap at the beginning of a fight that just kind of nukes some of your health bar down, and the ice armor that takes certain hits. Very solid. Icarus is bad. Why not give Icarus a buff? He has such a cool idea for his kit, so why not give him a buff? Periosa, a champ that's the only idol I don't have. I was actually 2 off of her idol. I did not want to spend $40 to get her idol, so I did not. So yeah, I would actually say she's pretty awesome. I actually really like Imperiosa. I wish I had her. She's probably the best idol in my opinion. So yeah, Visible Woman, terrible. Iron Fist, terrible. Iron Fist, terrible. They're all 3 bad. Don't ask why. They just are. Iron Man. I would actually put him in the awesome tier. I love Iron Man, and I don't know. I like him a lot, so he's going in the awesome tier. Very solid on attack, good on defense, and one of the best raids characters. So what's not to like? All right, Iron Man or Doom, also in the awesome tier. Like I've just mentioned with Iron Man, but he's also ascendable. And he got a buff on a kit that is already pretty good. And he's one of the highest in prestige. If you pull Doom, you're set pretty good. Pretty good. Iron Man and Infinity War, I would put him in the bad tier. He's just a defender. And even at that, a lot of characters can counter Iron Man very easy. So, yeah. Iron Patriot, terrible. Isofiend, average. Even though I'm an Isofiend defender, I still think she's average. She's very okay on attack, but her damage isn't quite that crazy because it relies on that big crit. That big crit I've only got like twice on that special 2. I've thrown many Isofiend special 2s and I've only got that big crit like 2 or 3 times. It's actually wild how hard it is to crit. Jabari Panther. I would say she's actually average now with the Ascension. That has actually rose their stocks a lot. And I've seen a lot of good Jabari Panther gameplay before the Ascension. So the Ascension just rises it even more. She's not that bad on defense. Jack. Jack goes in the meta tier. Jack is awesome. But he's also better than awesome. I love Jack. I'm a Jack defender. I think he is one of the best nukes in the game. The only thing that's wrong with this kid, he's just not a defender. But he wasn't meant to be a defender. Not every champion has to be a defender, command. Not every single champion that you release has to have defensive prowess. It's fine when you release a character that's very good on attack and has good utility for certain classes. It isn't a defender. It's fine, command. All right. Jean Grey. Jean Grey is my GOAT. My favorite champion in the game, besides probably Doom. my GOAT. We love Jean Grey around here. Not much else to say. One of the best attackers. Really great defense. Good immunities. Good utility. Reverse controls. All sorts of goodies. Jean Grey's awesome. Jessica Jones, I would put her in the average tier. She's a trophy champ. She's locked behind a paywall, or you got to get really lucky to get her. Especially as a 7-star, she's basically locked behind a paywall. Yeah, solid on defense, not that great on attack. Yeah. Joe Fixit. Yeah. Unless you're Nick 136, nobody cares about Joe Fixit. He's average though. He's a tank on defense, and he does a lot of damage into your block, but you're never fighting him on defense. Jubilee. Bad. Juggernaut. God tier. Juggernaut's one of the best attackers in the game. Not good on defense, but it doesn't matter when you're the Juggernaut. Bitch. Kang. Terrible. Karnak. Bad. Kate Bishop. God tier. Once again, another 6-star champion. There's 3 6-stars on this list. That just goes to show. Also, one more thing. One more freaking thing. Where's he at? No. We're talking about him next. Where's he at? I will find him. This guy, this little fella right here, this average. Actually, I would probably put him in awesome. I'm a Shang-Chi defender, but he was voted in as the first Titan availability or first skill Titan champion. We could have had Kate Bishop, by the way, guys, as a 7-star right off the rip. That means we would have Kate Bishop in today's current day. In today's current meta, we could have rank 5 Kate Bishops, but no, we voted for Shang-Chi, which is a great champion. Actually, he probably belongs down here in the average tier. But we got Shang-Chi instead of Kate Bishop. So, anyway, Killmonger. Defender. Decent on attack, actually. I've seen some pretty good Killmonger things on attack. I was pretty surprised, too, when I saw that. Kindred. Not good on attack, but a very, very good defender. A very good defender. Really high prestige. I mean, I wouldn't say he's not good on attack. He just doesn't have very much damage on attack, but he can do stuff on attack. King Groot. He's a bad. He's average. I put him in bad. And I would put this King Groot in average just because he's a 7-star, and I like his kit, and I think he looks a little bit cooler. So, Kingpin. We're gonna put you up in the meta tier. We all love Kingpin. Very solid attack. One of the best attacks or skill attackers, just because you can really fight anybody. And a very solid defender. Great immunities. Great utility. Well, I guess not immunities, but he can be immune to debuffs or whatever. Kingpin's awesome. The only problem is he was locked behind a paywall, but he's bald, so it's fine. Noel. Noel's awesome. I really like Noel. I just never ranked him up because I couldn't bring myself to do it because I had other characters I liked before him. But Noel is very solid. If you have a Noel and you have him ranked up there, I have no problems with it. Noel's very good on attack, a very good long form content, a very good Coliseum champion actually too, and not bad on defense. Korg. Korg, with his buff and his ascension, he is average, but I have always thought Korg was kind of bad, because on defense, I've never really struggled with Korg. I've struggled to evade his SP1, but besides that, yeah. Kraven, terrible, just for the fact that he costs so much money for nothing as a 7-star. Kushala. Kushala is meta. She's so good. Kushala's so good. One of the best story champs in the game with the Mystic class, just because she is so solid and her damage is so easy to access, and it's very, very good. And her immunities and utility, and she's not good on defense, but once again, Kabam can release champions that don't have to be good attackers and good defenders. It's fine when you do just one or the other. But Kushala's amazing. Alright, we should be a little over halfway through. I just want to say, if you guys have made it this far, comment down your favorite letter in the alphabet. I don't know. Just thank you for staying this far. And I know I am moving kind of quick, so I truly am sorry if I talked about your favorite champion just very, very limitedly. Go ahead and comment your favorite champion in the game, the whole entire game, and tell me why they're your favorite. That's what you should comment, not the favorite letter thing. But yeah, I'm trying to go through 300 champions in a reasonable amount of time. So yeah. Anyways, Lady Deathstrike. The Ascension and her buff made her average, but before that she was bad. Even though I kind of like her, I still can recognize that she's not that great. Lizard. Lizard is awesome, but I don't believe he is a meta or god tier champion like some people think. He's good on attack. He kind of has some Juggernaut synergy, where he kind of seems like a science Juggernaut, but he has really, really great regen too. Really, really, really great regen. And he's one of the highest ascendable characters in the game just because his tokens were so easy to access and guaranteed. Like, Seaton has Like, I think he can ascend his to like Ascension 5 or something like that. I don't know. It's insane. But, yeah. Loki, terrible. Longshot, one of my first R4s, actually. I think he was like my 4th or 5th or something like that. I am actually a long shot defender. I think he is still very, very good. I just don't use him that often because I have other mystics that are just better than him, but he still is a very great character. Luke Cage, average. Luke Cage does some stuff, and that stuff he does great, but other characters does that stuff better. Lumitrix. Lumitrix is a meta character. I'm not a Lumitrix defender. I don't care about Lumitrix, but I do know people glaze the hell out of him, and I do understand why. He is a very good character. I've just never been a personally big Lumitrix player. Maestro, awesome just because it is Maestro, but he's not that great on attack. He has Ascension 2, and he's a great defender, so yeah, he goes in the awesome tier. Magic. So this is the image of the pre-buff Magic, but this is buffed Magic. And even then, I would say she's actually a very meta character. Allison Edits makes a lot of good videos, which I got it right this time, not Cat Murdoch. Allison Edits makes a lot of great videos about Magic, and I'm pretty sold. I think Magic is really great. Magneto. I'm actually going to put him up here, and that might seem crazy, but he does a lot in the game, and he is very... Everybody takes him for granted, but if Magneto was a 7-star... you guys would see the power of Magneto and how much stuff he can cheese with his metal mechanic, and he can basically just shut off anything if they're metal. This Magneto, average. He just has the pre-fight, but besides that, I don't find him as good as the other Magneto, but he is a 7-star, so whatever. That's too high. I'm taking it back. Sorry, that's too high. I apologize. Man thing. Unless your name's CEO or free-to-play CEO 2025... if your Seaton's free-to-play account, this is a god tier champion. But besides that, he's average. He has a great kit, but nobody's really picking Man-Thing over anybody else. Mangog. Mangog's bad. I don't like Mangog at all. Mantis. Mantis is a character I don't ever think about. Mantis is average. She has really great damage, but her kit's so weird. Masakure. Average. Hit the block. Do some damage. Unless there's a block node, nobody's ever used Masakure. Now, when there is a block node in BGs, I'll bring in my 6-star Masakure and do perfect. I'll do perfect fights, like 20-second fights with a 6-star Masakure against rank 4 champions in block nodes, but that's only in that invade node. But yeah, M'Baku, he's just an average character. He's a Koye watered down. That's the best way to explain M'Baku. Medusa. Medusa's actually pretty awesome. I was unaware of Medusa's game for the longest time, but Medusa's pretty solid. She's a solid champion. We'll put Mephisto in average. He's a 6-star locked, but I believe he is coming out as a 7-star soon. He should be coming out as a 7-star shortly. I believe he'd be a perfect candidate for 7-star. I actually believe he's kind of behind. If he got launched as 7-star today, he wouldn't be that hyped, but if he was launched at the beginning of time, he would be more hyped. But he's just really a defender. Mr. Fantastic. MSD sold me. Mr. Fantastic, awesome. MSD sold me. I was always a Mr. Fantastic is kind of bad and I don't really like him. MSD sold me. I love Mr. Fantastic now. Mr. Negative. Bad. I don't care what anybody says. Mr. Negative's bad just because of the unfazed mechanic. Mr. Sinister. God tier. One of the best champions in the game. We all love Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister is the GOAT. I don't care what anybody says. We love Mr. Sinister. Great anywhere in the game. Any range of health you can fight in the game, he will do. And he's solid on defense and great immunities, great utility, all that stuff. We love Mr. Sinister. Alright. Whew. We got a lot more champions left, but we're almost done. Stick with me, guys. Misty Knight. Bad. I don't like Misty Knight. Nah. MODOK. I personally think MODOK's still bad. I don't like MODOK at all. I believe his defensive prowess is the same as it was before, and he's just as easy to nuke down, and he's not good on attack, so I don't like MODOK personally. Mojo. Mojo is actually pretty awesome. I was unaware of Mojo's game as well, and Mojo's a pretty great champion, so yeah. Moleman. Moleman is a character I want really, really bad. He is also awesome. I want Moleman so bad. I have him. I just want him ranked up, I guess. I just can't bring myself to rank him up because there's other champions that I have to rank up before him. But I would love to have him at the highest level ranked up because I quite like Moleman. Moondragon. I saw rank 5 Moondragon gameplay the other day, and it was unbelievably average. Unbelievably average. Moon Knight, terrible. Morbius, I'm actually gonna put Morbius. He'll go on average. He was one of my first 7 stars I got, and I thought his kit was so cool, but just that the rank ups, when you rank him up, he does not scale correctly in my opinion. I don't know. I don't find Morbius that cool. Mordo, kind of the same thing as Morbius. I don't find him that cool. Some people like him. I don't. Morningstar, bad. Mr. Knight, awesome. Mr. Knight's a very, very solid character. I really like Mr. Knight. And I have him like SIG 140 or something just from pulling him from Titans. So I might rank him up because he really wants high SIG. But his kit is really cool. And it's a Moon Knight variant that is actually good. Wow. All right. Miss Marvel, bad. Yeah. Yeah. That's where Mysterio will go. You have to get an SP3 in to do good damage on attack, and even at that, his damage is eh. I do know one of my good buddies of mine that played this game from the Alliance. He has a rank 4, or that was one of his first rank 4s, and it was pretty solid, but eh. Yeah. Namor, I would actually put an awesome tier. Namor is very, 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 very underrated. Very, very underrated. And if he was one of the first 7 stars to ever be released, he would be very high on this list. Like, people would think he is way better than he is. Or, like, people would think he is really, really good because he is. He got released so late that nobody plays him. Nebula's bad. Nick Fury is god tier. Nick Fury is the GOAT. Besides Baron Zemo, the best skill in the game. Great on defense, great on attack. He just has so much in his kit. He's just filled with so much just stuff. He's just so great. Nick Fury's awesome. If you pull Nick Fury, you're in a good place. Nightcrawler, average, great damage. Decent on defense. Jeez, I've been talking for 40 minutes. I'm about done. But yeah. He's all right. Nightcrawler's not bad. Night Thrasher's bad. I believe he really is bad. His kit does not work. Nimrod, though. Nimrod is a meta character. I love Nimrod. So great. The Mutant Destroyer. You just keep in that mode. You just keep applying those big, big shocks, and you just kill everything. What's not to like? And he's not that bad on defense. He's actually a pretty solid defender because he's a tank. North Star, I find average. Some people might disagree with that, but I don't find North Star that cool at all. Nova, I'm actually going to put an awesome tier. The Ascension just gave him a buff that I think he really, really needed, and I actually really, really do enjoy Nova, and I wish I could rank him up. There's just so many characters I want to rank up ahead of him, but I do actually really, really like Nova. Odin, besides his pre-fights, I don't really find a use for him ever anymore. I used to like him, but he's not that good. Besides his pre-fights, Okoye is arguably a god tier champion. She is so good. I don't know if I can put her that high, though. I'll just put her in meta tier. She's a very, very great champion, but I don't think she's on the level of these guys. She just has really, really great attack and damage, and she has an ensnared that has ability action reduction. It's very, very solid. Old Man Logan, as much as I'd want a buff, I'd put him in the bad tier. He's not terrible. I actually kind of like him. I took him up to max rank as a 6-star. His damage is actually pretty solid. I would love to see him as a 7-star. Just a little bit of a buff. Omega Red, average. SIG 200 Omega Red, maxed out Omega Red. Awesome. But he's an average character. Unless your name's Karate Mike. You don't really care. Same with like Omega Sentinel. Nah. Just 2 characters I don't really care about. They're whatever. But Onslaught, here we go. Arguably the GOAT of the game. Still the best character in the game no matter what. Great on attack, great on defense, all that stuff. You know the drill. Onslaught's the best character in the game. I can make his own tier because he's just that good. Onslaught is the GOAT still. Alright. Man. Whew. We've been talking for a long time. Let's finish this out. Phoenix. Normal Phoenix. I would put her in the awesome tier. I actually believe she's very underrated. She does really, really great things on attack against certain tech defenders, and she's just not bad. Like, she's a very, very solid character. Plus, I have her at rank 4, plus she's green gray, but it's fine. All right. Photon. Photon is a meta character, arguably a god tier character. I don't think she's not a god tier character, but she is a very, very great character. I love Photon. Great on attack, but really, really, really great on defense. And she has pretty high prestige. Whew. Platinum Pool. Platinum Pool's bad. Professor X. I actually find him to be pretty awesome. I would put him in the awesome tier. I find Professor X to be pretty great. And if your name's MSD, he's probably a god tier champion, but I'm not MSD. Prowler. Prowler's also an awesome character. I need to get better at playing Prowler because he's so good, and I have him at Sig 200, so I might as well get better at playing him. But I have him at rank 3. He's a very good character. I just can't seem to maximize his playstyle. And he's solid on defense. Proxima Midnight, bad. Psycho Man, terrible. Psylocke, terrible. Punisher's actually pretty good. I would put him in the average tier. Nobody really has a 7-star Punisher, so that's a big issue. But he's actually not bad on attack, and he's a very great defender. You have to do certain things to play around his kit, which are kind of weird. But yeah, I actually really like the Punisher buff. I'm a big fan of it. Punisher 2099, he's average. He's just mid. There's not much that you'd want out of his kit, but Purgatory, we'll put her in awesome. Purgatory is a very great champion. One of the best raid champions ever until they nerfed her, and then she's not even in the pool anymore, which sucks because she was my raid champion of choice. I had her at rank 2, and I was doing amazing things with her at rank 2. Quake, even in today's current day, I'd put her in awesome here just because there's the memories of just quaking everything and just Quake being that good. But even in today's current meta, I still don't believe Quake would be that crazy. I'm going to be honest. I mean, obviously she would be absolutely insane, but she takes a long time to take certain fights down. And I feel like it'd be so boring nobody would play her. So, yeah, that's just me though. Quicksilver is average. I actually kind of like Quicksilver. I'd put him in the awesome tier. Quicksilver is very good. Yeah, he's just really great on attack, and he's really annoying to fight on defense just because his specials are so hard to evade. Anyways. Red Goblin. Red Goblin's, he's average, but pretty close to bad. He really needs an Ascension or something. Red Guardian. Red Guardian is meta. One of the best nukes in the game. He's on the same level as Human Torch. Red Guardian has a lot of utility. I got that wrong. I personally think he does have a lot of utility with the slow and with the being able to refresh it and his perfect block. So that is personally my bad when I talked about him in the best science. But yeah, Red Guardian's pretty great. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Whew, we've been talking 48 minutes. We're almost there. All right. Red Hulk. Bad. Red Skull. I would put him in the meta tier, actually. I'm still a Red Skull defender. He's one of my favorite characters to use in EQ because the node always works with him perfectly. But he's a very solid attacker, too. I never see anybody talk about Red Skull's attack, but he's very great. All right. Rhino. Guys, don't worry. We got this. Oh, no. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Alright, Rintra. I would put him in the awesome tier. Once again, he just has all the things you want out of a defender, and he's a cosmic nuke. He's kind of like Nimrod with the mutant class, but he's like that with the cosmic class. He just kind of nukes everything in the cosmic class. Rocket Raccoon. He's bad. He just has really great SP2 damage. That's about all. Rogue's bad. I did see some cool things with her in Necropolis, though. So if she came out as a 7-star, maybe she would be a little bit better. But Ronin, you can cheese stuff, but that's about all. Other Ronin, Sabretooth, I personally still think Sabretooth is bad. Sandman is going up in the meta tier and arguably god tier champion. Seaton has sold me on Sandman. I'm a Sandman defender now, and if I pull his Ascension, I'm probably taking him up because I really like Sandman's kit now and Ascension and all that. I think Sandman looks amazing, and I really want Sandman Ascension. All right. Whew. We are very close, guys. Very outdated defender in Bigfoot. It's actually Sasquatch, but I still put him in the average tier. He's just very outdated. All his defensive kit is he's just a big tank. He can take a lot of health. He's actually not bad on attack, but yeah. Sauron, I was really wrong about Sauron, guys. I believe he is average. I don't believe he is one of the worst mutants in the game. There's a guy in the comments that told me everything about Sauron's kit, and I looked up some gameplay. I was wrong about Sauron. He's not the worst mutant in the game. He's still not the greatest. He's still probably on the list of the top 5, but he shocked me. He really did shock me. All right. Citadel Witch, I personally think she is bad just because the amount of money and stuff you have to put in to get her to get a mid-tier champion just makes her bad. Scarlet Witch, even though her kit's not as good as Sigil Witch in my opinion, I still think she's average just because there are certain metas where she's one of the best characters in the game. So she gets average in my opinion. Scorpion. Scorpion's meta tier. Sorry. Got a little bit ahead of myself. Scorpion, meta tier, not god tier, has a lot of great things in his kit, but is not quite as good as other characters in the game, especially in the science class. I believe he's kind of outdated nowadays, but still a very solid character. Scream is awesome. She has really, really great damage, and she's not bad on defense if you get a little bit of a Scream cycle. Sentinel's meta. I love Sentinel. I absolutely love Sentinel. He was my first tech R4, I believe. I actually never had him at any other level besides R4. I pulled him in that event and took him straight up to R4 when I got him. So, I love Sentinel. Very solid on defense, very solid on attack. We all love Sentinel. Sentry. I'm a Sentry defender, so he's awesome. I'm a Sentry defender, though. So, some people might not put him as high, but I'm a Sentry defender. Cersei. Could be a good champion, but is an average champion. Shathra. Meta. One of the best Maestro counters in the game, and Maestro is a very potent defender, so you always love to have those. She-Hulks. I'm actually going to put both of them in the awesome tier. I love both She-Hulks. I really want base She-Hulk. She's one of the few 7 stars that I'm missing. I really, really want base She-Hulk. I really, really like her kit, and I really like Deathless She-Hulk. I wish she had her OG look, though. Her new look looks a little weird. Shocker defender. I believe he is an awesome character. I absolutely love Shocker. Silk. Silk is an awesome character. I don't believe she is meta. I've always been a Silk hater. Not gonna lie. I don't know why. I've always kind of hated on Silk, but I do recognize she is a very, very good champion. Silver Centurion, bad. Silver Sable, she's pretty awesome. Her buff really, really did her justice. I actually really like Silver Sable. Silver Samurai, he's average. And even average, I don't think he's that good. I personally don't like him. Silver Surfer is bad. I don't care. Silver Surfer is bad. If you only have prestige, you're a Silver Surfer. You should be such a great champion, and he's bad. His kid is so bad. Make him good. Justice for Silver. Solvark. Arguably the second best idol in my opinion. He belongs in the awesome tier. I really like See, that's the thing, though. I think he's the second best, but Lumitri, I don't know. Solvark, you can go up here too, buddy. You can go up here too. Furiosa, you know what? We're bumping them all. We're putting them all together, and then Isophine can beat out here in the mid tier. Good family reunion. All right. Sorcerer Supreme, I believe she is bad. I don't believe she holds up in today's current day. Spider-Ham, he has fallen off, but he is still a meta character in my opinion. I still love Spider-Ham. Spider-Man 2099. Awesome tier. I actually am a Spider-Man 2099 Defender. But still, he still needs a little bit in his kit. That's all. Spider-Man Classic, average. Sorcerer Supreme Spider-Man, average. This Spider-Man, Symbiote Supreme or whatever, bad. Spider-Punk, average. J. Jonah Jameson, average. Sorry, I'm just moving through all their kits, but they're all so average. I don't really care much about them. But here we go. Here's a character I actually do care about. Spider-Woman, god tier character. The best science in my opinion by a long shot. I absolutely love Spider-Woman. She is such a great kid. I'm a Spider-Woman Glazer. Spiral. She's awesome. I would put her in the awesome tier. I really like Spiral. But yeah, that being said, Spot. Spot goes in the awesome tier. I'm a Spot defender too. I love Spot. I've never had him at the highest rarity actually, which is kind of crazy to think. I've never had him at the highest rarity at that time, which I do obviously have the 7-star now, but I've never had him ranked up at that point. I really want to rank him up because Spot is cool. Squirrel Girl, bad. One of the strongest characters in the Marvel Universe, by the way. Star-Lord with Coliseum. He is average, but I believe Star-Lord is actually pretty good with Coliseum. That's about all. Stellar Star-Lord. I love Stellar Star-Lord. He's awesome. I absolutely love Stellar Star-Lord. One of the best, in my opinion, the best Stellar Forge because there's only 2, but he's way better than Blade. But yeah. Storms, I'm going to put them on the same tier. They're both average. They both have great damage. They can do some weird things on defense if you get clipped, but that's about all. Strife's average. He has really, really great long form capability, but at that's all he has. So, yeah, not that great on defense. Yeah, Sunspot's an absolute nuke. Sunspot's awesome. I've definitely seen him falling off as times come, but he still is a very great champion. Super Skrull. I don't like Super Skrull. He's average. I don't like him at all. His buff did do him good, but yeah, I just hate fighting him too. Sim's awesome. I really, really do like Sim. I really do like Sim. His kit is so easy to play. You just get buffs, you do more damage, and he's actually a tank if you can get the right buffs. And if you get the right buffs, you can do really, really great things on attack. He's not that great on defense. He's a very easy champ to fight on defense, but he's a very great attacker, and I believe he has one of the best buffs in the game, honestly. Sim Supreme, I believe he is an awesome character. I love Sim Supreme. Taskmaster, bad. Terrax, I would actually put bottom average. I'd put Terrax at bad. I don't like Terrax at all. Thanos is terrible. Thanos is absolutely terrible. But this Thanos, the second best character in the game, Deathless Thanos is the GOAT. Literally just he's neck and neck with Onslaught. I just gave Onslaught the slight edge, but he is so close. They're A and B, 1A, 1B, whatever you want to say. The two best characters in the game by far. Thanos is amazing. Deathless Thanos, that is. The Champion's bad. His kit's very cool, and it's very cool that he gets a buff at the champion node, but it just doesn't work that well. Destroyer, even with the Ascension, I would actually put him in the awesome tier. I don't mind Destroyer. Hood, I would also put in the awesome tier. I'm a little bit of a Hood defender. I would love to take him up to the highest level because he's a really, really great nuke for a lot of cosmics, but that's about it. And he's not bad on defense. The leader's average. Unless there's a region node, he's one of the best in the game. That's about all. The Maker's awesome. He has a lot of utility in this kit. He's not the most flashy damage champion out there, but he's a very solid champion. He's not bad on defense. Overseer. Unless your name is BeamNG, he's average. I'm sorry. Unless your name's BeamNG, though. Serpent's an animal. We all love Serpent. Serpent's god tier. Not much to say about Serpent. I don't want to spend any time talking about Serpent because I don't want to give him glaze. Because I try not to glaze Serpent, even though he is one of the best characters in the game. The Thing. The Thing is awesome. He's a really great defender, and it's the Thing. Thor's bad. Even though, Thor's just bad. Jane Foster, though. Jane Foster's average. Jane Foster's kid's actually really cool. You smack him with a hammer. I don't know. I find that really, really cool that she winds it up and you smack her with a hammer. I don't know. I find that really cool. That's just me, though. He's getting a buff. We don't know his buff. So current day Ragnarok is probably average, I would say. At best, probably bad. But he is getting a buff. So that gives him a little bit. Tigra. Tigra's an awesome character. A lot of people probably have her higher. I'm just not a good Tigra player. So Titania. Titania is also an awesome character. I love her availability on attack to do certain things. And she's just a Swiss Army knife. You can get a lot out of her, and she's a very solid defender too. Toad, I kind of like Toad as well, and I'm also one token away from getting him Ascendant too. So I believe Toad is a very good character. That being said, Ultron. Ultron is also another awesome character. I feel like we just hit the jackpot of awesome characters, but I really, really like this Ultron too. Now this Ultron, I believe, is average. Honestly, he's bad. I would say this Ultron's pretty bad. He does need a buff, and he is becoming a 7-star, so he's going to get that buff. You're terrible. I don't like you, Unstoppable Colossus. Valkyrie's average. I don't like your playstyle. I don't like hitting in the block champions, as you can see with Massacre or whatever, when I talked about him earlier. Venompool's bad. Nobody likes him. Venom, though. Venom's awesome. Meta tier. One of the best champions in the game because his bleeds are so potent. If you can get lucky with those bleeds, you are chilling. Also, Venom the Duck. With this relic, he genuinely is a meta character. I think Venom the Duck is one of the better characters in the game with this relic because he's a ramp-up champion, too, so you can ramp up throughout the quest. I personally love Venom the Duck. Oh, my gosh. We are so close, guys. Vision. Bad. Or terrible. Vision Arcus, I still think we'll put him at average just because he's got the Ascension and he got a buff. So he's not bad, but I still think he's average. This Vision, terrible. Void is awesome. Void is one of the best AW attackers, in my opinion. I just love Void. He's a Swiss Army knife once again. Vox. Vox is average, even though I've seen a lot of good things. I'm not a big Vox player. I don't really care much about Vox, but I have seen people play him, and they do pretty well with him. Vulture's bad. Give this man a buff. Warlock is awesome. Definition of a Swiss Army knife. You get him early in the game, you're going far because he can carry you so very far. War Machine's bad. Wasp is bad. Werewolf by Night. I would actually put him in the awesome tier as well. I don't believe he's quite average. I believe he's a little bit... Actually, no. Werewolf by Night is average. I'm not a big Werewolf by Night defender. Werewolf by Night is alright, but I'm not a big defender of Werewolf by Night. White Tiger, once again, average. Her kit on paper seems cool, but I just don't think she works out very well in game. Winter Soldier, besides being a punching bag, he's terrible. Wolverine is bad unless you are a horseman. Then it's actually really, really great. Wolverine Weapon X, I believe is average. He is what Wolverine should be. This should be Wolverine's this is a perfect kit of Wolverine. So I don't know. Wolverine should be kind of like Wolverine Weapon X. X-23 is bad. Her kit just does not work. I talked about it in a recent video. You push the opponent to SP3 before you nuke him down, and it doesn't work right. Her kit she just needs some type of power lock. Wong, really, really great for long form content and staying alive in that long form content. He was one of the first characters to do Necropolis without any items. Very, very cool to see. Wong is pretty cool. Yelena is meta. Not much to say. Very good on, very, very great on defense. Solid on attack, not that crazy. It has great utility. Yellow Jacket is terrible. Yondu is average. He is just a nuke. That's about it. Dr. Bong. Now we get to the new characters. Dr. Bong. Dr. Bong looks like he is a genuinely meta attacker. He looks amazing. He's not that great on defense, but once again, you don't have to have defenders and attackers in the same kit. He is just an attacker, and he is so cool, and I love the idea of Dr. Bong. Madeline Pryor, she belongs in the meta tier. Amazing, amazing character. Arguably God tier. I just haven't got to play her yet. Pixie is very average, and Ruby Thursday is awesome. Pixie, I don't know where I just put her. I've seemed to lost Pixie, but anyways, Pixie's all right. Her kit, it's so confusing for little payoff in my opinion. And Ruby Thursday, she looks like she's gonna be a great character. We just gotta see how she pans out in the future of the contest. But yeah, this is my tier list. This was an hour-long video, so please, thank you so much for watching, and go down, drop a like, subscribe. We just hit 500 subs. I can't thank you guys enough. And please, let me know down in the comments which is your favorite champion and all that. But yeah, this is my tier list of every champion in the game. Once again, I'm sorry I couldn't talk about every single one in detail, but we spent an hour and 3 minutes, and I skipped a lot of champions. So yeah, this is my tier list. I believe there are some holes in this tier list, but nothing can be perfect. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Whew! You can tell I've been talking for a while. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I love you all. Thank you so much for 500 subs. Go vote for my newest R5. And yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Peace.